Has something like binge eating disorder or people being, dare I say, like grossly overweight, is that being perceived as an eating disorder, and are more people entering treatment with that manifestation?
Yes. Typically, insurance companies don't want to provide coverage for that diagnosis. So it's been hard to get
Even
them.
though more people are dying from like obesity in this country than anything else, but yeah.
The diagnosis was formalized in the DSM-5, so what was that, 2 or 3 years ago? So it was formalized. The other piece of information that's really important to take into consideration is only about 51% of the people with binge eating disorder are at a higher weight. I don't know if you remember the Vyvanse commercial, which is the only FDA-approved drug for binge eating disorder. The spokesperson of the face for that drug by Pfizer was Monica Seles, an elite tennis player. She certainly was not at a higher weight. Not everybody who binges, takes on. And then there's the whole diagnosis of sort of compulsive overeating.
Yes.
Right? That's going to fall under OSFED, where atypical anorexia is as well. So these are very dangerous disorders. So for atypical anorexia, where there is a huge population, that would be somebody who's at a regular weight or even maybe a higher weight, but they're still taking in an inadequate amount of calories per day, like maybe 200 calories a day. So you can't look at a person and say, oh, they don't have an eating disorder.
Sure.
Because it's not that the only eating disorder is anorexia. No, there's quite a few other ones. There's one program that has a specific binge eating disorder program, but it's also been the downfall of so many programs because people who come in with anorexia and bulimia in particular are where a lot of the programming is designed for. So for binging, there's almost an increased need for challenge meals and including things like double portions. That's where that would come in.
Including things like double portions where they then don't eat the full amount.
Right. You want to provide them with the opportunity to binge and see what they do. And having been part of some of those exposures, some people choose to eat nothing because it's like, I can't get started.
Don't open the floodgates.
Right? Or some people eat all of it and then they carry incredible shame. I think what the important thing to remember is you can't stop after that first one.
Right.
If you do, you've done harm as a clinician. Let's reevaluate what skills you can use and let's try it again. Let's get back up on that horse. To me, the metaphor I've always liked is you're doing well, you're riding a horse, you're having so much fun, you weren't looking, and you hit a branch and knocked you off the horse and you ended up on the grass. You got the wind knocked out of you and the horse is looking at you, with his head on the side like, what the heck? Right? So you've got a choice at that time. You can stand up and slap the horse on the butt and say, get out of here. I never want to get on a horse again. Or you can look around and say, I need some help. Can somebody give me a leg up? And get back up on as fast as possible and try it again. The second way, you will tend to build less shame because it's about solving the problem rather than sort of staying in this puddle of self-pity.